mechanism was in Pakistani action. India has said that is not true, and there are lots of announced that India and Pakistan have agreed damage in Pakistani action. India has said that is not true, and there are lots of fake news that are going around. Although Pakistan is increasing deployment, that has been now clearly said that Pakistan is increasing deployment at the borders. We've seen this escalation at the line of control at at the international border, and now India has said that Pakistan is increasing deployment, which is clearly a sign of escalation. Although India is wants to de-escalate the situation, but Pakistan has to do that accordingly. Let's first hear what did the representative of the military say in that press statement in the morning.
Pakistan military continued with its provocations, carrying out aggressive actions employing multiple threat vectors all along the western border. Pakistan employed UCAV, drones, long-range weapons, loitering munitions, and fighter aircraft to target civilian areas and military infrastructure. Pakistan military also resorted to air intrusions using drones and firing of heavy caliber weapons along the line of control. Along the international border and the line of control, air intrusions and several harassment attacks were also attempted from Srinagar till Nalia at more than 26 locations. Indian Armed Forces successfully neutralized these threats and majority of the vectors. However, limited damage was sustained to equipment and personnel at Indian Air Force stations at Udhampur, Pathankot, Adampur and Bhuj. There were also several high-speed missile attacks noticed subsequently after 0140 hours in the night at several air bases in Punjab. In a deplorable cowardly act, targeting of civilian infrastructure also had taken place, where Pakistan attacked the Medicare Center and school premises at the air bases of Srinagar, Avantipur, and Udhampur, yet again displaying irresponsible targeting of our civilian infrastructure. In a swift and calibrated response, Indian Armed Forces carried out precision attacks only on identified military targets. These included technical infrastructure, command and control centers, radar sites, and weapon storage areas. Pakistan military targets at Rafiqi, Murid, Chaklala, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukur, and Chunya were engaged using air-launched precision weapons from our fighter aircraft. Radar sites at Pasroor and Sialkot Aviation Base were also targeted using precision munitions. While carrying out these responses, India ensured minimum collateral damage. Pakistan has also attempted to execute a continued malicious misinformation campaign with claims of destruction of Indian S-400 system at Adampur, destruction of airfields at Suratgarh and Sirsa, BrahMos base at Nagrota, RT gun positions at Derangyari, and Chandigarh Forward Ammunition Depot, with heavy damages to other military stations being propagated on social media. India unequivocally rejects these false narratives being spread by Pakistan. Along the line of control also, Pakistan has attempted multiple air intrusions using drones and conducted shelling using heavy caliber RT guns, targeting civilian infrastructure and killing some civilians. Heavy exchange of artillery mortars and small arms fire in Kupwara, Baramulla, Poonch, Rajouri, and Aknoor sectors continued. Indian Army has responded effectively and proportionately, causing extensive damage to Pakistan Army. Pak military has been observed to be moving their troops into forward areas. indicating offensive intent to further escalate the situation. Indian armed forces remain in a high state of operational readiness. All hostile actions have been effectively countered and responded appropriately. Indian armed forces reiterate their commitment to non escalation, provided it is reciprocated by the Pakistan military. At the end, I would also like to show you a few images of Air Force bases in the Punjab sector and Rajasthan sector, where it is mighty clear that we are debunking the Pakistani claims of causing destruction at these air bases. You can yourself see the normalcy and these air force stations. This is Sirsa, Suratgarh. The runways are intact. There are also time stamps. Just notice there are also stamped. This is today. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So you heard there an elaborate statement about the developments that took place through the night and today morning when Pakistan attacked multiple locations in India and also debunking the fake news. There is a lot of fake news circulating and showing visuals of those Air Force stations, which are normal, but there's fake news circulating about them. But the MEA representative also spoke and clarified other things. Let's hear what he had to say.
अम, जैसा कि हम पिछले 2-3 प्रेस ब्रीफिंग्स में भी बता चुके हैं, ये पाकिस्तानी गतिविधियां हैं पिछले 2-3 दिन से, जो एक एस्केलेटरी तौर पे देखी जा रही हैं और प्रोवोकेटिव तौर पे देखी जा रही हैं. I've said on numerous earlier occasions, it is Pakistani actions that have constituted provocation and escalation. In response, and I repeat, in response, India has defended and reacted in a responsible and measured fashion to these provocations and these escalations by the Pakistani side. Earlier this morning, we saw a repeat of this escalatory and provocative pattern, and I'll invite Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh to update.
Right. You heard there. But in the meantime, we are getting more details about the way that Pakistan carried out those attacks and the ammunition that was used. Now, there are some visuals coming to us through ANI, which suggest that loitering munition was fired by Pakistan. That was destroyed by the bomb disposal squad of the security forces and the NSG. The drone was found in a village near Jammu. I will ask my producer to once again play that clip as a full screen. Yes. So that is that's that visual of the drone that was destroyed. This is the situation that we are looking at. That there has been a major escalation in many sectors in Punjab, in Jammu and Kashmir, and in some other areas where Pakistan has, in fact, targeted to. Now, this is a big breaking news that we are bringing to you. US President Donald Trump has said that I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Big breaking news that we are bringing to you right now. That Donald Trump has announced after a night long of talks mediated by US. I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. American President Donald Trump putting out that statement and breaking that story that the two countries have decided and announced a ceasefire, full and immediate ceasefire. So again, I'll read that statement. After a long night of talks mediated by the United States, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on your common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The big breaking news that we are bringing to you is that Donald Trump, the US president, has in a post announced that the two countries have decided to go for a ceasefire. Again, if we can have that post full screen. After a long night of talks mediated by the United States, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Big breaking story that we've seen Pahalgam terror attack taking place on April 22. What followed was a series of events that followed after that. There was uh, Operation Sindoor that was launched by India, and terror bases in Pakistan, 9 of them were demolished, were destroyed. And then we see Pakistan uh, responding by sending drones to India uh, in Jammu, in Punjab, in other sectors. And although those attempts were foiled by India, and then a high-speed missile was also sent by Pakistan, and India also destroyed many positions, security positions uh, in Pakistan, and also its air bases and air defense system that was clearly brought down by India. But here is the breaking news that Donald Trump, the US president, has said that I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Now, this is US President Donald Trump. Now, we've been hearing that there is an effort by the US NSA has been talking to External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar. He also spoke to Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir today. He has been speaking to Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and there have been some back channels that have been working to bring about this ceasefire. And now, finally, US President Donald Trump has in fact tweeted and announced that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That is Donald Trump, US President, making that big announcement in a post on social media saying that I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Now, this follows uh, the exchange between U.S. NSA and the Indian Foreign Minister Jai Shankar and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and also today Army Chief Asim Munir. He spoke to them, and there has been this back channel that has been working, and now it has reached to a conclusion, and that is what has been announced by Donald Trump. The US president says that India and Pakistan have agreed to immediate ceasefire after US mediation. Big breaking story we are bringing to you. It's a huge development that we've been seeing the two countries at the cusp of a full-fledged war. Now a ceasefire that has been brokered by the US and announced by uh, the US. It's a big story that we're bringing to you. That the US has clearly brokered that ceasefire between India and Pakistan, and Donald Trump has clearly said that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I have that is the situation on the ground. A big story that's breaking here on the Mojo story. Now we've been seeing this exchange taking place in the air, in the skies. There have been two air forces that were locked into a combat, and the militaries on the ground at the line of control and international border. Locals, civilians living in the border areas had to bear the brunt of uh, of of civilians living in the border had to bear a brunt of this escalation. Now a ceasefire has been announced. It's a big development. We'll have to see that what happens here on. Will the guns stop? Will the jets stop roaring in the sky? And will this come to an end now? Now it's happening on multiple fronts. It's happening at the line of control, at the international border, and it's happening uh, it's happening on multiple fronts. But now it will all have to stop, because the ceasefire will come into force if the two countries have agreed. Uh, now, uh, now this is the breaking story that we are bringing to you. U.S. President Donald Trump has, in fact, made that announcement through a post. He said that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Big breaking story that we're bringing to you here on Mojo Story. It's a breaking news that a ceasefire has been brokered by the US. Now, US has been working through back channels, and we know for a fact that uh, US NSA has been talking to the Indian uh, foreign minister, to the MEA, Minister of External Affairs S. Jaishankar, and also to Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and to its army chief Asim Munir today. And of course, in those talks, it has finally been resolved, and that's being announced by the US president, that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The big breaking story that we are bringing to you here, right here on the Mojo Story. We're trying to get more developments about this. There is a press briefing also scheduled later today at 6 p.m., and we'll have some more information about it. Of course, this changed the entire scenario on the ground. Will it bring about an immediate and instant de escalation? That's the big question, because this ladder of escalation has been going up for many days now. Will it come to an instant end? And will there be a will the gun stop on the ground? That's the big question. It's Donald Trump, US President, has announced that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Full and immediate ceasefire. To congratulations to uh, congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for thank you um, for your attention to this matter. So, a big breaking story that we're bringing to you. Uh, that there is a ceasefire between India and Pakistan that's been announced by the US president through a post. US President uh, Donald Trump has uh, Donald Trump has announced that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, uh, uh, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. But here on the ground, what was happening in the morning, there were uh, lots of drones and rockets that were fired by Pakistan. In fact, one such projectile had fallen in Dal Lake, and we bring you this report from the Dal Lake on that uh, projectile that had fallen in it. Loud explosions as military tensions between the two countries is on the rise. Now, in the morning on Saturday, there were huge explosions in the vicinity of the airport, which is on the outskirts of Srinagar city. And then there was a lull for a few hours, and in the afternoon, there was another round of explosions that was heard. Now, PTI, a news agency, is reporting that a missile-like object, as PTI puts it, was had fallen inside Dal Lake, and it was taken out from the Dal Lake and it's been sent for examination. There are also reports that another similar object was found at Luston, which is on the outskirts of Srinagar. That's also been taken for examination. So since morning, we've been seeing these explosions happening in Srinagar. The government has already in its press briefing said that Srinagar and Avantipur in Kashmir Valley were the targets of Pakistani attack, but all those drones and missiles that were fired from Pakistan were successfully blocked, and that attack was thwarted. To the south of Pir Panjal in Jammu city, there were Pakistani projectiles that landed there, and that was a lot of destruction. In fact, many residential houses got damaged in Jammu, and uh, towards the north, uh, to, uh, towards the north in Rajouri, a government official was killed in Pakistani firing and shelling. Already, there has been a massive spurt in ceasefire violations at the line of control and the international border. The BSF has released videos of Pakistani launch pads inside Pakistan that have been demolished. Army has also released videos of Pakistani positions that were demolished. So we've been seeing a major escalation happening, and Jammu Kashmir seems to be the center of that escalation. Although Pakistani attacks have also taken place in Punjab, in Firozpur. A debris of a drone landed on a house, and 3 people sustained burn injuries. There was also a similar sort of a situation in Amritsar, which also came under attack from Pakistan. But here in Srinagar and in Jammu, we've been hearing these explosions since the morning, even as the government has now confirmed that Pakistan did attack positions in Srinagar and Avantipur. And of the targets that were chosen by Pakistan also included medical facilities and schools. So this is the situation in Srinagar. Loud explosions heard since morning as the two air forces, the two militaries engage with each other, and the escalation seems to be only rising by the hour. In Srinagar, Zafar Iqbal for Mojo Story. Right. That was a report from the Dal Lake. But coming back to the big story, US President Donald Trump has made a big announcement. He said that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, India has all along been saying that they are for de-escalation. They said that Pakistan has an opportunity to go off ramp, but it was Pakistan which was insisting on continuing with escalation. So it has, in fact, at the end of the day, India's India's stand of de-escalation has now been vindicated, and that is what has happened. Although Pakistan launched their operation today only, but now less than 24 hours after Pakistan officially declared and launched an attack on India, that ceasefire has been brought about. And we're getting to know that from the US President Donald Trump, who has in fact put out a post that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I'm pleased to announce. Uh, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, the stoppage, now ANI has been reporting and quoting sources that the stoppage of firing and military action between India and Pakistan was worked out directly between the two countries. The Pak DGMO initiated the call this afternoon, after which discussions took place and understanding reached. There is no decision to hold talks on any other issue at any other place. Now, this has been made very clear that this is only about de-escalation and nothing else, about a ceasefire. Now we're also getting to know that Ishaq Dar, the Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan, has also tweeted. We'll have those details in a short while from now. But coming back to what Donald Trump, the US President, has said, that after a long night of talks mediated by the US, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense. Ishaq Dar has tweeted, Pakistan and India have agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect. Pakistan has always strived for peace and security in the region without compromising on its sovereignty and territorial integrity. So we're getting that first reaction from Pakistan on this ceasefire, and we'll get more details on that when that briefing starts. We'll get more details. We'll get the Indian side also on this big story. The big story is that after days of hostilities and exchange between India and Pakistan, now finally a ceasefire has been brought about, and it was announced by the US President. We'll keep a close track of this story. We leave you at this moment with this big news that a ceasefire that's been announced by the US President between India and Pakistan. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching the Mojo Story.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.